Well, I think we're ready to start. Hopefully that we won't have the streaming video go a little crazy like we did last week. But I'd like to welcome everybody here for a guitar lesson. And at 7 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be putting on a concert. This is here, we're in my basement recording studio, another place, but we're right here. Hey, Rick, how are you? It's good to see. Yeah, snow days, right. Folks, I live in the Northeast, in upper New Jersey. Rick pointed this out that we had, well, I don't know about you, Rick, where you are in Connecticut, we had about 10 inches of snow where we were, and that's how I spent most of my morning shoveling myself out, and we've got a long driveway. So it was, but with COVID, I'm home. So I'm home for the holidays. That's that's been spotty as a traveling musician. You got a solid foot? Yeah, that's it. If anything, a foot isn't solid walking around in that. Uh, Mike, how much you got? About 10 inches in Lancaster. Yeah, okay. So 12 inches. Paul J got 12 inches of of cocaine. Yeah, I guess so. Back speaking of yeah, snow and white Christmas. I used to have a job as a sound is messed up. Let me see now. I'm getting a sound. Let me know if the sound is messed up with everybody. John says the sound is messed up by him, and I'm reading okay from what I can see in the microphone. I'm getting a good readout with the mic with the sound here. How is the sound coming through, folks? Oh, you reloaded it and all is well. Okay, yeah, just refresh your page. Maybe that'll help. That. So anyway, sound is good. Slightly out of sync. Yeah, this gets crazy here, but hopefully we'll get through this lesson. It'll be all right. And I think next year, or actually, yeah, January, I'm going to be on a higher output system. Right now, I'm with Optimum, and it just sucks. But I'm going to be with Verizon. So in January, we're going to have it's going to be like speedy. It'll be all in sync. It should be all good. Anyway, so if you want to download the tab, that link right there, okay? That link there is where you can download the tablature for today's lesson. And it's just, it's tinyurl.com/Toby Walker tab. You don't have to use caps or anything. Enter that into your URL, and you'll be able to, you'll see the page where you can download the tab for today's lesson, which is going to be Cocaine Blues, as it was performed by the late Dave Van Ronk. And up there, let's see if I'm pointing at, yep, just right there. There's the link if you would like to send me a donation. I'm giving things back to you for the donations. So you can go up to that page and you'll see that's where the donation page is. And I'm giving away all kinds of really cool things. Some things that haven't been out before. So there's a thing in there called grooves you can use, which is just these little groovy things that you can put into your playing that really give the song some groove. And that's a whole, I mean, it's like a $30 lesson, but it's for a $20 donation. Plus you get, recording of this guitar lesson. And plus you get a CD. It's the MP3 download of this is Just Rolled In. And let me see if we get it a little bit better there. Just Rolled In. This is a CD of a live performance that I did. And I think this is for a $15 donation. And I'll send you everything. Anyway, so that's the donation page. And there's the tab. There's the donation and there's the tab. I think that's it. Oh, no, there's the donation. There's the download tab. There's the donation link. Okay. So, folks, I want to preface this by saying that this book is really cool. It's The Mayor of McDougal Street. It's written by Elijah Wald, but he's basically taking it from all these interviews that he did with Dave Van Ronk. Dave Van Ronk, if you don't know who he is, Dave Van Ronk was he was like the mayor, literally, of the folk scene in Greenwich Village at the late 50s and the early 60s. I mean, he was there and through it all, and he was with all of the people that made that folk music scene very, very popular. And in the book, The Mayor of McDougal Street, there's some really great stories. I'll tell you just one of them while you're getting your tab. One of the things that he one of the things that he did about his playing is he was one of the first guitar players that would actually listen to ragtime music from piano and then arrange it for the guitar. So he was, he did a lot of that and made that very, very popular. He was around. He was talk about about a record collection by a man named Harry Smith. Now, Harry Smith was this eccentric record collector back when they collected 78s. And he would collect records, folk music, blues music, all kinds of music from all over the South. And he put together this collection of really great music. And people like Dave Van Ronk and his little crowd in Greenwich Village that were folk music enthusiasts and blues enthusiasts, they would collect these records and play them for each other at little parties. And that was on one of those records was a song by Mississippi John Hurt. I believe it was called Frankie and Johnny. And, John Hurt plays that song really fast. When you listen to that record, it's like going at a blinding speed. And Dave said that for months, everybody in his little circle was trying to figure out that song. And one guy actually figured it out and could practice it and play it that fast. Later on, Mississippi John Hurt was rediscovered. And when he was up in Greenwich Village, ready to play this particular club, they went up to him and they said, "Could you play Frankie and Johnny?" And he did. And he played it real slow. And they were all kind of scratching their heads and they said, "Well, the record's much faster." And John said, "Oh, yeah, the record." Well, it turns out that John says that the producers of that record back in the late 20s when he recorded it, because it was too long, they had to speed up the recording so it would fit on a record. He says he never played it that fast ever. So that's just one of the stories in The Mayor of McDougal Street by Dave Van Ronk. So I'm going to play a tune by Dave. Well, he didn't write it, but he certainly, this is his arrangement, and it's probably one of the most beautiful guitar tunes that I've ever heard. It's just a wonderful tune, and I'm going to play it's called just Cocaine. All right, so that's Cocaine. It's a really beautiful tune, and I want to teach it to you. And again, you could download the tab. You can see it was a great read, wasn't it, John? Yeah, it was a great book. I've read it a couple of times. I'm due to read it again. So this tune Cocaine Blues, okay? And I said you could download the tab in the links that we have up here. Um, it starts out with a C chord, and there's an interesting little technique that's going on here, and it's what I like to call a reverse hammer-on, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But throughout in this tune, there's a nice little bass runs going on, and there's nice alternating bass, and that's what Dave is playing in this tune. Starts out with a C chord, and in that I'm going to play that very first measure very slowly. Now he starts out in the first beat just grabbing the fifth and the first string, and he has his pinky down on that high G note, pinching the two together, comes down with his alternating bass on the fourth string. So we have. Now here's the trick. You got to pick that pinky up and get ready for this. You're going to hit that second string by itself, and then as you hammer down with your pinky, your thumb is going to come down and hit the fifth string, like that. All right, David can't wrap his arms around how to download the tab. It's going to be a right click. If anyone can, in the chat box, help Dave out to show him how to download the tab. And Dave, right now, you can also just click on it. You can follow it that way. But if anyone could help him out in the tab, in the chat box to help him down, basically you right click it, and you'll see it says save image or save file as, and that's the way you'll save it onto your computer. Anyway, so we have this reverse. So we have it. We're going to hit that second string by itself on the first fret, and then hammer down on the third fret as your thumb comes down on the fifth string. So in that first measure, we have our first beat and into the second beat. So you hear that? 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. 1, 2, and 3. Now, right after you hammer, you're going to hit the open first string. You're going to come down now on the fourth string again. So we have. And now you're going to put that pinky down on that first string again. So your pinky's doing a little bit of work here. So now let's take a look at the second measure, because we're going to do that same little reverse hammer on here. I'll play the second measure very slowly. That again very slowly. Bass, hit the second string there, and hammer down. And as you hammer down now, you're going to be coming down on the fourth string. And then hit the open first string. So we have. Then come in with the bass, and then another hammer. Down on the fourth string. So that it's a tricky little move. I'm going to do that second measure again. And if I play those first two measures together, it'll sound like this. So that's it. And when you get it going, it's really beautiful when you get that thing really going. It's a great practice. Now, when we're going into our F chord, what we're going to do is we're going to be playing it in the folk and the blues style. We're going to be keeping our first finger on that C, taking your second finger, put it on the third string at the second fret, and your third finger on the F on the fourth string at the third fret. Now, here's the trick. You got to hold that guitar, get your palm against that guitar, hold it like you're going to strangle the thing, and get your thumb over onto the sixth string at that first fret. For those of you that are new to this way of playing an F chord, if you want to play this style that's the way to really play that F chord. Many people play it that way. So we're in this F chord, and what I'm basically doing is alternating between the 6th and the 4th string. And I'm going to be adding my pinky onto that 2nd string at the 3rd fret in this measure. So here's how this measure sounds with the F chord. So the 6th string, 2nd string, 4th string, 2nd string again, put your pinky down on the 3rd fret, 6th string, 3rd string, 4th string. So we have now I'm going to pick that pinky up. This is our 4th measure on the 1st line. Here we're going to be doing like a double stop, or 2 notes at the same time. I'll do that again slowly, and then we'll take it step by step. So here, in that very first beat, we're going to be grabbing 3 strings at the same time. Our thumb is going to put on that 6th string. And our first finger is going to be on the 3rd string. Our middle finger is going to be on the 2nd string. So we're going to grab these 3 strings together, and we're going to play the 2nd and 3rd strings like 8th notes, one end. But we're just going to come down on the bass just by itself. So we have. Now after you do that, come down on the 4th string. So you have. Now we're going to hit the 2nd string. So we have. Now here's the beautiful part, and I love the way Dave does this. We're going to take that thumb off that 6th string, hit the open, grab the 3rd string, it's already, your 2nd finger's already there, and then put it back. So we have this. Now the reason he does that is because we're going to be leading up to a G note on the next line. We're going to be playing a C chord but with our G in the bass. So I'm going to play that last measure on that first line. All right, so here's that, are the 8th notes swing notes. I guess, Rob, you could play them as swing notes, but he doesn't play them as swing notes. It's actually very, straight eighths, and I'll play that whole first line so you could hear that. So it's da 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 da. It's not like that da 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 da. And so this one doesn't swing like that, Rob. All right. So in the second line, notice we went that little bass E F because we're leading into a C chord with the G in the bass, and we have our pinky set up on the first string at the 3rd fret. So we have, this is the second line first measure. And we're lifting up our 3rd finger. So we do it very slowly, 6th string, 2nd string, 4th string, 1st string. Then bass. So I'm going to take it from that first line, that last measure, and you listen how the bass just sort of leads into this G, C chord with the G in the bass. Isn't that really nice? Look at that. It's a beautiful little part, and it's a nice technique to get under your fingers. So we get this, here's that C chord again in the second line. Now we're going to go back to our F chord. And again, like we did before, we're going to be grabbing those 3rd and 2nd string with our 2 fingers here. But we're also going to be grabbing the 2nd and 3rd string when we do a G chord. So listen to this second measure now. play that again. And I just love the way it leads into it. And it leads into a C. So let's take a look at what's going on. We have the very first beat is just thumb and the two fingers. Then come down with the fourth. So we have. Now go right into a G chord, and you're going to. So we get that sixth string in third and second. Hit it, put down the pinky, and then come down on the fifth string. That's leading you right into the C. So listen to that, how it leads into the C. The bass. Okay, and then he does this again in the third measure. Listen to the third measure now. Dave backbeats the bass on the C chord, playing 4-6-4-6 instead of 5-4-5-4. Listen to it. Dave does this one way, and then he does it the opposite way. So listen carefully, because sometimes Dave will play it. He'll play it like that 4-6, and he'll play it 5-4-5-4, and sometimes he'll play it backwards 4-6-4-6. But that's a good point. MJ, that's a good point, that he does that backwards as well. He does two of them. I'm just putting it more straightforward here. So anyway, listen to this is the third measure now. So we have this. So here we get the C chord, grabbing the three strings, the fifth, third, and second. Now, to the bass, and now I'm going to bring down my second finger to the A note, play the bass, then play the open second string, and play the B here. So we got A, B, B, C. And the way that measure sounds going into the last measure. So that would be the whole first part of this tune. I'll play this whole second line now for you. I'm sorry. So there's that whole first part of Cocaine. All right, I'll play now that whole first part in context. And he'll keep repeating that while he's singing a verse. But now what we're going to be going is into the second part of the song Cocaine. And something to be noted too in the second part is he's bringing in an E chord, and he mentions in the book, he actually says that most of the folk musicians and blues musicians only thought of the first chord, the 1, the fourth chord, the 1, 4, and the 5, or in the key of C, it would be the C, F, and G. And very rarely, he said, did anyone use diminished chords or put in a third chord. And here, Ronk is putting in the E7, and he gives it a little bit of a change here. Dave, you have to understand, Dave considered himself not to be a folk musician. He considered himself to be a traditional jazz guitarist. Okay, because he listened to a lot of the old New Orleans music, and in that music, it was not uncommon to use more chords than just the 1, 4, and 5. So here we're going into the second part, and he's going to be playing an E chord, and he brings in his pinky to get the 7th in there. I'm going to play that whole line, the E7 and then the F, and then we're going to get into it measure by measure. right, so that little E chord really kind of sounds cool in there. So let's go into that. We have that E chord here, and here we're going to be alternating the bass. This is the fourth line, the third line down now on your tab. You have the open first and open sixth strings together, and you're going to be playing an alternating bass with the sixth and fourth string here. So I'm going to play that first measure. So I'll do that nice and slowly. The sixth and the first string together, fourth string, get that pinky in there to get the D note. So we have 1, 2, and now the third beat, second and sixth string together, and then get that third string in there. So we have, and then come down on the fourth string. And then once you get that, you just play that measure over again. Then we're going to be going into the F chord. So with the F chord, this is how this measure is going to sound. Why not E minor 7? I guess you could use an E minor 7, but I'm not used to hearing an E minor 7 in there. To me it doesn't sound like the song, but you know, this is folk music. You can put an E minor 7 in there if you like, and it would work. But I think maybe you're asking if it's not an E minor 7 because that woing harmonically correct in the key of C. If you're doing, if you're doing the notes harmonically, if you're just writing them up straight up the scale, you certainly would have an E minor and an E minor 7 as your sixth, as your third chord. But this is, you know, he comes from a jazz background, and a lot of the jazz players would choose to use a dominant seventh chord, and they're going to be using the E7. They're going to get, if you listen to old, a lot of that old jazz. Those old jazz progressions used seventh chords rather than the minor chords that you would find in the key of C. They would use E7, A7, not an A minor 7, and a D7, not a D minor 7. So they would use the seventh chord. So that's why sounds. Rusty just got here. Cocaine for horses, not for men. To the kill you, but they don't say when. You got it. That's why it doesn't sound right, because it was always. But look, I mean, you could change that around and put an E minor 7 there. It's no problem. So let me get back to that. The last two F chords, the two measures with the F chord in the third line. So we have. So that in that third line, the third measure over, we're grabbing the sixth and second, thumb on the fourth, put the pinky down, so get, and then pick it up again, and get that sixth and second string together, and then grab that third string right after it. So we have, and then last bass note. And then finally that last measure on the F is going to sound like this. Okay, so we could grab that double stop in there. Pick up the thumb and put it back down again. To toss, having trouble using the thumb with the F chord. With a bar, you could to toss, you could use a bar chord. The only problem is with the bar chord, if you want to get two F notes in the bass, you're going to have to use your third finger here and then use your pinky to grab those other notes. So you can do that. You know that's there's no rule saying that you have to use this way, but you're going to see most of the guitar players that play in this style will play the F like that. And it is difficult at first, but it's well worth mastering. But you can, of course, play it like that. So there's no saying that you can't do that two toss. Not at all. So here's that third line all together. And then we're going to be going into the fourth line, which should be very similar. Now that fourth line is exactly like your second line. So really, in this particular song, all you have to do is work out the first three lines, and then the fourth line is just a continuation of that. Let's see. This is how I play Cocaine Blues. I don't know if you'd like to hear just the way I do it. Yeah, I'm going to play it the way I play it. You see, you can play it any way you like, okay? But this is just an extra thing. Again, if you want to donate anything, the link is right up there. And I'm giving away things. So if you put in that tinyurl.com/Toby Walker, it'll take you to the donation page, and I'm giving away all kinds of things for your donation. The big thing that I will, before I get into this, the big thing that I'm giving away is I'm going to be giving away a year's access to my Premier membership site, which you'll have access to over 450 video guitar lessons. There's tips in there. Actually, it's probably more than 450. I'm always adding things, like every other week or every week I'm adding more lessons onto that. And you get access to all of that. And that would be like $60. But it normally goes for $125. It's on sale on my website for like $93. But anyone in the Twitch in this streaming thing, you get it for $60. So that's what I like to do. Anyway, so I'm going to play Cocaine the way I just feel like playing it. I've played this one for years, so... Went to a doctor, my nose was sore. He said, man, you ain't gonna smell no more cocaine dancing all around my brain. He said, cocaine for horses, it ain't for men. He said, it's gonna kill me, but he didn't tell me when. Cocaine dancing around my brain. Cocaine, my friend, I know you're gonna kill me, but I don't know when. Cocaine dancing around my brain. I thought it was a joke. Man said everything goes better with a little bit of cocaine dancing around my brain. 2 old ladies sitting in the sand, each one wishing that the other was a man. Cocaine dancing around my brain. Went into town in my birthday suit. I came out of a bank, I had a whole lot of loot. Cocaine dancing around my brain. So that's kind of how I like playing it, and I know that this I don't have tab for that part of what I play, but I'd like to, I still got time. I'd like to share some of the ideas with you, that I use in that tune. I start out. I do this little run. It's against a G7 chord, right? And I do this little Django type thing. And I'll show you that little lick. I'm actually starting on the G, and I'm going to hammer and pull off it. And then go back 1 fret, and then back to the G again. That's a typical Django lick against a G7, And now I'm going to go down an arpeggio of a 9 chord. So I have A, G, F, D, B, G. So I have... Then I go down chromatically, down to the 7th or the F, and then to the C. C. So, that's kind of the little intro that I do. And when I'm playing this, I'm doing this little thing. Rick knows about this because I taught this one workshop where it's bouncing the notes. So when I'm bouncing the note, the bass, I'm bouncing it 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4. The bass, the strings, and you can go into the E7. So I'm going into the E7. I'm hitting that 6th string in the bass, but I'm doing it just before I get into the measure. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. So 6, 5. And then I'm going to use a thing that Dave Van Ronk used a lot, diminished chords. And this diminished chord, because I'm playing the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string and the 6th string, right? I want to keep the diminished chord on those strings. So instead of doing a C diminished here, like way most people play it, all right, or familiar with it, instead, I'm not going to put the bass on that F sharp. Instead, I'm going to put the bass up there on the F sharp over here. And in order to still play these 3 notes, I'm going to play the E flat, the C, and the A. I'm going to use my first finger to bar on those inside 3 strings and use my 3rd finger on that A note. So I have the E flat, the A, and the C, and that leaves my 2nd finger to grab that F sharp. And using when you're going from, say, an F chord, you're getting, it's a nice transition to get back to the C chord. And I did this little move. So here I'm taking the C, I get like it's apart from that C chord, and I'm grabbing the 2 octaves, the 3rd and the 1st string, the 2 C notes. And then I'm going to walk my bass down from a B flat to the A. So I get... Then I'm going to bring my 2nd finger down to the G. You may say, well, why am I doing that? Because I'm going to lead up into the G sharp here. So I have... And that's part of your E7 chord. Now this E7 chord, I like to call it the Deep River Blues chord because a lot of people know Deep River Blues. Okay? It's your B note, E note, D note, and your G sharp. So it's kind of a way to get into that. So here I get that. And then I use an F chord here. Now this F chord is just barred on the first 4 strings at the 5th fret. My 2nd finger's on the 2nd string at that 6th fret, and my 3rd finger's on the 4th string at the 7th fret. So you get a C, you get an F chord. It's really kind of part like it's that chord there, like a D shape moved up, but I got it here. And I'll put my pinky down. I'll keep the pinky down, and I'm going to do another C diminished here. So we have this. And then there's a Gary Davis, and Yorma stole it from Ian, the guy that he studied from, Ian something or other, who studied with Gary Davis. So we have this. I'm borrowing my finger on the inside 3 strings at the 4th fret and coming in on the upbeat with the 2nd string. And as I slide in, Ian Buchanan, thanks, you got it. Thanks, MJ. Coming in on the 4th string. Then I'm going... And here you can hit the 4th string all the time in the bass. And then... So here, the last part is the 1st string and the 3rd string. And then the 4th string and the 2nd string at the 3rd fret. Slide it up there. Then to the open 3rd and 1st again. So, and then C, A, G. C. So that part. You know, when I'm improvising a lot, I'm playing these little C blues licks. All of those work against the C chord. When I go into the E, I'm going to grab a note that's part of the E. So I can go... Or I may go a part of an E chord up here. here's part of a little E chord. So I'm doing a little blues lick because I have a C chord to the E chord, right? So I'm going to play a blues lick. Now when I go into my F, I could do a lot of different things. I kind of play like these little blues licks, and you know, you can do and then get into that little diminished chord. Then back to a C. So I'm doing again a C little blues lick, and then I may do like a G bluesy lick, like a B flat and an open B. Almost like a little bluegrass lick, you know, a little. But I want to get back to my C chord, so I could go C blues like E, F, diminished, back to my C blues, G blues, back to the C. So that's kind of how I think when I'm improvising. I'm just going to be playing these little licks. I'm not thinking of scales. People have asked me, you know, do you think of scales when you improvise? Scales are good to know because you can sort of get a map of what's going on. But any blues player I've ever known, and all my friends that play blues, they're not thinking in terms of scales. They're thinking in terms of phrases. So just something to think about. Anyway, so that's the lesson. At 7 o'clock, I'm going to be playing a concert, and I'll have my studio set up for that. And I'm going to be playing like all kinds of cool tunes. Some tunes I haven't played in a long time. Some old jazz. There's even a fiddle tune I've been working on. So we're going to see how that comes out. But that's at 7 o'clock tonight. And again, folks, if you can donate anything, you're very welcome, Rick. And it's good to say hi to your family, my man, Rick in Connecticut. What a great guy. If you can, you can donate anything you like. I appreciate it. And I'm giving away things. There's the donation link right up there, tinyurl.com/Toby Walker. And the tab for today, I'm going to leave the tab up there for days. All right. If you want a video of this lesson, okay, it would be a $5 donation. And I'm going to send you a private, unsubscribed YouTube video of this session. And that's for only $5. And for another $10, I'm going to send you that plus a copy of MP3s, downloads of a live concert that I did. It was a sold-out show in Bayshore, New York. And then there's other things, too. Just go to the donation link. You'll see everything I'm going to give you back for your donation. And I do appreciate, seeing everybody in the room. We had a nice crowd here. It was really, really nice. And I'm glad. And my buddy Mark Seligman. I'll call you later, Mark. So gonna do that. Maybe I'll bring out this is Mark's guitar. Maybe I'll bring out this one for the concert tonight. I don't know. This is my friend Mark Seligman's guitar. It's a great guitar, and he's a great person. So anyway, I'm going to see you all at 7 o'clock, folks. I hope you can tune in for the concert. And usually every Thursday I'm doing it, but for next, you have to go back to work. Rusty's got to go back to work. All right, take care, Rusty. This is going to be the last one for a couple of weeks because next Thursday is going to be, I think, Christmas Eve or something like that. And then you got New Year's Eve. So we'll be back in January with the shows and with the thing. Is this video part of the... Yes. Upstairs Dave, yes, the video, everything I mentioned, the $5 donation with the video, the $15 donation with this and the video, The $20 donation with the grooves you can use, whole lesson package, that's all part of the $60 donation. And you get tons of lessons with that. So yeah, Dave, thanks. Christian. That's right. Christian's over in the south of France. How are you, Christian? Yeah, you'll have to stay up late for that one. Although Christian, I think you are a member of the Premier Membership Club. I'm pretty sure you are. And what you call it? I post the video of the concert. I save that and I post that up on the Premier Membership site. So you'll have a video of the concert. All right, so you may not have to stay up, Christian, to see the concert. You know, you could see it probably in a day or two. All right, folks. God bless and stay healthy, stay happy. I know COVID's it's a bitch, but you know, let's just all stay through this together. Stay healthy and happy. Mike, yeah, and have a great holiday, all of you. Yeah, I'm going to be on holiday break for a couple of weeks. I've never taken a vacation in years, and I'm going to be taking one. It's kind of a staycation, but it's something. All right, folks, take care, and I'll see you later on. Yeah, if you did it, yeah, the videos are going to be up there upstairs, Dave. You got it. You donated the $60. Yes, you'll get the videos. You'll get the tips video. All of that stuff is going to be up on the Premier Membership site. I'm going to put a whole bunch of stuff up there. So don't worry about that. That'll be up there, my friend. All right. This video. Sorry. Okay. Yes, this video. You got it. I'm going to put up this video too. I think it's going to be under the Twich lessons or something like that. But they'll be up there. All right. Take care, folks. Have a good one, and I will see you all later. Take care. And let me just get that. And away we go.